welcome to the Lions team hotel in Sydney. Alongside me, Dan Biggar, as Andy Farrell has named his side for this third and final Lions test. And two changes to the starting 15. So James Ryan comes in for Ollie Chesham and Blair Kinghorn comes in for James Lowe. But it is a proper team that he's named. For anybody who thought they've got the series in the bag, he might let us foot off the gas, he's definitely not doing that.
Well, I think we saw that with, maybe you'd expected the Lions maybe to rock up maybe Thursday for their first training session, sort of have a bit of a throw the ball around and sort of get into Saturday. But, you know, yes, they enjoyed Saturday night, Sunday, and Monday, but Tuesday was sort of back into work mode, which is sort of unheard of on Lions tours, really, because even in tours gone by where it's been a decider in the final week, they've tended to give a few days off at the start of that week just to freshen up and things like that. But you can see this team means business, and I think the two guys who are starting or coming into the change in the team, Blair Kinghorn and James Ryan, deserve their place as well. I thought they were both excellent coming off the bench last Saturday at the MCG. James Ryan added a real physical presence, and I think Blair Kinghorn just gives you that little bit more of X factor and a bit more of a threat in those wider channels. So interesting team, and like I said, I think they're desperate for 3-0, aren't they?
Hearing from Andy Farrell talking about Blair, he said it's the unpredictability that he wants to bring on Saturday. But let's talk about the bench, because he's gone for a 6-2 split. What do you think about that?
I think I like the 6-2 because I think they're going to need, you know, after the emotional energy, the physical energy that they put in over the last couple of weeks in those test matches and that game against the First Nations team in the Marvel Stadium on the Tuesday night. I think what I like is that they've got someone like Jack Morgan, Ben Earl, Chesham, who are going to add that dynamism, that energy, that sort of when the game is maybe at 60 minutes, and there's going to be tired bodies out there on Saturday, because 3 weeks, three sort of big test series or 3 big test matches in 3 weeks is so difficult. So I think having guys who can provide lots of energy in that front row, second row, back row, and as a forward pack is really important. So I like the look of it. Obviously, when you go 6-2, you leave yourself a little bit thin, and you can guarantee that there's going to be an injury in the backs probably in the first 5 minutes. That happens all the time when teams go 6-2, unless you're South Africa. But I just think, yeah, that's probably the risk that Andy Farrell is taking, that he wants energy in that forward pack, probably due to, especially when you look at Tyburn and Tom Curry, how much of a shift they've put in over the last couple of weeks. Are they likely to go 80 minutes again? Probably not. They'll probably need fresh, younger bodies coming on to close the game out.
It's interesting what you just say, because someone made that exact point in the press conference, which is someone like Tom Curry, who, like you say, has put in a hell of a shift. Is this so that he can empty the tank knowing that there are guys there ready to come on? But Andy didn't really want to be drawn on that, and he wasn't giving too much away.
Well, he hasn't given much away all tour, has he, Ellie? You've tried your best all tour, but he hasn't given much away. But you're absolutely right. I think that's the case. Tom and Tyburn in particular, they looked tired coming off, don't they? Which is the way it should be. But I just think, yeah, the guys coming off, Ben Earl, Jack Morgan, Chesham in particular, in that back row, second row, will add huge impact and energy coming on.
And this is it now. The final test as they look to go unbeaten on Aussie soil. Joe Schmidt making a number of changes as well. But you feel the Lions are in a great position to try and get this done? Yeah,
I think, again, looking at like Australia, the emotional energy that they put into last Saturday and then to just come up short, I think will have hurt the Wallabies more than probably you're letting on. I think I was at a dinner with Joe Schmidt last night, and he sort of said it was almost the first couple of days of the week was like a grieving process, which, you know, is tough to recover from. And the way I look at it as well is the Lions, if we're really being honest, the Lions didn't actually play that well Saturday night. They were good in key moments, but as a team, they didn't play as well as they could have by any stretch. So you'd think that the only way that the Lions' performance can go this Saturday is up. And I think Australia probably produced one of their best performances in the last 12, 18 months from an emotional physicality point of view. And I just think, can they produce that again? Or is the only way that they can go is, even if it's 1%, 5%, whatever it is, probably the other way, which probably tilts the balance of probability in the Lions' favour. And I expect the Lions to win. I think they've got too much. The team that they've named, the history that they want. They're a hungry squad with a team full of leaders in their coaching team, and I expect them to just be too strong for the Wallabies on Saturday.
Well, it's very exciting. One more game to go as the Lions look to go unbeaten here on Australian soil.